that sound at those kind of settings, is what you're saying. What about with the settings I gave you? Was it any better? For those wondering who I'm talking to, they're in the YouTube chat. Some of you are on Twitch. Some of you are on Facebook. I'm replying to the people on my YouTube channel. Because for some reason the YouTube chat doesn't show up. So if you have any questions, go over to @JasonCGuitar on YouTube. And then you can type in the chat and ask questions. It's just years of playing in different influences, man. I've been influenced from everybody from Joe Pass and Pat Metheny, jazz guys, Al Di Meola, Ingrid Malmsteen, Jason Becker, Marty Friedman, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix is the reason I picked up a guitar. And yeah, so that jingly jangly Hendrix thing is just, I have to have that in my playing. Well, that's the wrong setting for that. It's that setting. And for some reason, I'm stuck in C# minor today. I don't understand. I don't know what is up with me today. I'm loving this fucking key today. I'm like, I don't know. If you like the way it sounds, that's all that matters, man. Oops. Of course, absolutely, you're going to develop as a player. As far as what good tone is, if it's pleasing to your ear, just go for it, man. It doesn't matter, you know. I didn't really find like this mid low gain stuff. I mean, I could play the style, but I didn't really find it. I don't know how to explain it. I listen to it. Look, this is the best way I can explain it. When you fucking see this, you lose your shit. Oh. Okay, so I use YouTube Music, and I use YouTube Music every day. This is where I listen to music, okay? Look at this absolutely fucking insane different amount of types of music. Jazz fusion instrumental music, jazz guitar, jazz fusion. This is killer. If you want to listen to some great shit, check out Sean Martin, Focus. This record is unbelievable. No guitar playing, but piano and horns. Oh my God. Of course, Marty Friedman's new one, Drama, is in there. Of course, got to be there. Got to do the Marty thing. You know, A to Z, which is the guys from former guys from Fates Warning, Blackstone Cherry, Laurie Basilio. I'm all over the map. Tesseract, Animals as Leaders, Mastodon, Opeth, 12-Foot Ninja, Killswitch, Evergrey, Joe Satriani, Testament, my favorite band of all time. But then look at all the upbeat easy jazz playlists it features for me. I listen to everything, man. I mean, look at my playlists. I have jazz fusion, jazz guitar, jazz piano, jazz backings. My guitar influences. Ambient metal, new progressive metal, new chill metal, which is like Sleep Token and fucking, who's that other band that's doing shit like that now too? That real ambient metal. Oh, Spirit Box. I call it chill metal because it's really not chill. It's got a lot of screaming and shit. My recording and mixing discography, and then like podcast episodes I want to listen to later. So I'm all over the gamut when it comes to listening to shit. You know, I really am. I've been very lucky. My dad was a jazz guitar player, so he beat my ass up on the theory thing, you know. But yeah, man, it doesn't matter. You can only listen to metal. You can only listen to jazz. You can only listen to R&B. You can only listen to funk. It doesn't matter. But find artists within that genre that are pleasing to your ear. And then try and learn that stuff. For me, in metal, Marty Friedman was the first guy I ever heard go, I keep losing my fucking guitar picks. It's because they're black. And they fall. And I can't get them. Somebody's going to cut that up into a fucking meme. I'm going to get in trouble for saying that. So, Marty Friedman was the first guy in metal. And I say metal because I'm defining metal. Okay? To go, the moment I heard that, I was like, I am studying this guy's playing. Now, I didn't go in and learn like solos note for note and stuff like that. But I watched him play and I watched the things that he does, you know, like the half-step bends. That I was familiar with from learning like jazz. You know, in jazz, you attack notes like from above and below. So in like a kind of thing, right? I mean, it's just a 2-chord vamp, but you know, like that, you know, or lines like that and stuff, you know. But Marty does it with bends. That's the only difference. So Marty's just playing jazz. But because he bends those half steps instead of like a jazz player, it's a totally new, oh my God thing. So I just related it to that when I was learning how to play stuff that sounded like that. You know, and then, you know, guys like Malmsteen. You know, I was listening to Al Di Meola long before Malmsteen. Al Di Meola was like, he was my go-to. But again, another guy, I never really sat down and learned solos note for note. It's never really been my thing. You know, I would pick out licks and just pieces of them that I like. And I would just learn the parts of them that I liked. I never sat there and actually learned a note for note solo. I've figured out note for note solos on stage playing with a band, playing the same songs over and over again. But never did I sit down and like, no, that's not true. I woodshedded one solo. We did Daddy, Brother, Lover, is that the name of it? Daddy, Brother, Lover, Little Girl, whatever it is, from Mr. Big, the electric drill song they call it. We did that at a gig, and I had to learn a Paul Gilbert solo, and let me tell you, it's the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. I don't remember it. Don't ask me to play it, but oh my God, yeah, that was enough. I was like, yeah, no, I'm done. I am so done. You know, but guys like I always gravitated towards those guys in metal. I'm a huge Alex Skolnick fan. That's why Testament's my favorite band. You know, I'm a huge Alex Skolnick fan. I love Marty Friedman. There was Richie Blackmore's a big one for me. Randy Rhoads. I'm more of a Jake fan when it comes to Ozzy stuff, but when it comes to the lead playing, I was definitely more of a Randy guy. More of that classical sounding stuff. Yeah. Satriani, Vi. That's where all my weird, like... Satriani and Vi's where all, like, my weird Mixolydian and Lydian sounding shit comes from. Some of the major sounding stuff. All of the exotic stuff really comes out of Marty and Al Di Meola and Alex Skolnick. the funky bluesy stuff really came from listening to guys like Greg Howe and guys like Stevie Ray Vaughan. I never learned how to do the Greg Howe tapping thing, so not my thing. Pepper Shake is probably my favorite guitar song for funky stuff. It's absolutely amazing. Him and Billy Sheehan just laying it down. Yeah. That might be something more recent. You know, on the new albums, I don't know any of the new song names. Because I don't look at album covers anymore, because I don't have them in my hand like when I was a kid. I don't remember song names from anything new I listened to. Let's look. It might be something off one of the new ones. Latest is Titans of Creation. Titans of Creation. Night of the Witch. Yes, that is them. That is the song. And I know what song it is. Yes, I do know that song. I love that song. It was a great song. But yes. So see, did it again. I have to find a way to get these picks in a different color. I'm using the new Dunlop Flow 1.5 picks. And they're black. Well, they're a dark brown. And everything in my room is black. So when I drop them, they go into the ether. Another thing you can do, any slamming, brutal death metal riffs. I don't have anything tuned to B currently, but I would play something off of Carcass's Heartwork. Yeah, my 7 strings in this weird all E's tuning right now that I was using. I could probably use something in. I think I got something in drop C sharp. Hold on. Let me see. So you want like a fucking, like a tremolo picking thing, or you want like fucking groovy, like suffocation style shit? That's the question. Or you want... I went to high school with Terrence. I did 2 years of high school with Terrence. Got to meet him and everything. We jammed together and shit. This was before Suffocation. Long before Suffocation. But when I went to high school on Long Island, I got kicked out of my mom's house because I had a fucking crazy ass fucking party at my house. I got kicked out. I had to go live with my dad in this other town. And the high school I was going to in this other town happened to fucking have Terrence go into it. Fucking like 5 years later, we graduated. Next thing you know, he's fucking off touring the fucking world doing all fucking this awesome fucking death metal. But yeah, I love that shit too, man. When I say I listen to everything, I'm serious, man. Like, I listen to everything. Every kind of fucking metal you can think of, fucking jazz, classical, top 40 music. I'm a huge, like, No Doubt fan. I love fucking, what's her name? The fucking, that Adele. I love Billy Joel. I love Elton John. But I started life as a metalhead. And over the years, I went from playing thrash metal to playing like progressive metal, because that's really where I come from, is the progressive metal thing. Bands like Dream Theater and Symphony X, Fates Warning, Blind Guardian. That's my jam. That's totally what I was into, because it blends everything into a single genre, and you can play anything. Doesn't matter what it is in that style of music. And nobody goes, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, I'm a huge Carcass is my absolute favorite death metal band of all time. Here's a trick for you for your triplet gallops. Slow. Play them slow. If you're cramping up, you're gripping your pick too tight. Loosen up. Let the pick kind of flow in your fingers. Hold it just enough so that it doesn't move. If you're really gripping to hold onto your pick, you either have a sweating problem with your fingers and you're using a weird pick. Get a pick with a grip on it and try different picks until you find one that'll stay in place. And then super slow over and over again. I'm not kidding. On all of your string groups. Everyone. You have to pull out the metronome, set it to like 80 BPM, and just sit on your couch, put on a podcast. This is the thing. Most guitar players, humans by nature are impatient people. Okay? It takes discipline in order to... Hold on, I'm trying to get the aspects off the screen. Okay, that was supposed to do that, but it didn't do it. All right, there it is. So, we are innately lazy. Everything's about convenience and doing things faster. The microwave was invented for faster cooking. The stove was invented for faster cooking. Everything's because we want to get stuff done faster and quicker and more efficiently, right? But the only way to do that with your guitar playing is you need to do it backwards. You need to start from the slowest way possible to do something, then work your way up to the fastest. It's really, really easy to start rushing, because all of a sudden you get something and you're like, oh, I want to play it all the time because you're really excited. But it's that discipline that's going to get you to the point of guys like Friedman and Becker and Guthrie. That's how you got it's hours, man. Just hours and hours and hours. You have to spend the time. So it's such a cool riff, dude. It's such a great riff. But yeah, it's just I hate that record, by the way. But that's a great song. I hate that record so much. It's just not Megadeth to me, dude. It's just not. It's some hard rock band. I'm fucking in my darkest hour. Peace sells. Killing is my business. Mechanics. Fuck the Four Horsemen. Mechanics. But yeah, man, it's such an important thing. I'll let you in on a little something. I used to be way more proficient at the instrument than I am now, in a massive way, like in a leaps and bounds way. I was extremely proficient on the instrument, and I had a car accident, and I couldn't play for like 3 years. I had to literally relearn how to play. Into the Lungs of Hell, another great one. Dude, Chris Poland is one of my favorite guitar players. But again, another guy that brought the jazz thing into metal. You know, him, James Murphy. You know, every guitar player that's ever been in Testament has brought that jazz thing to the metal. You know, James Murphy, when he was, you know, the Low, The Gathering. What was the other album he did? He did one other one too, and I can't remember the fucking name of it. Anyway, whatever. But anyway, James fucking brought that whole Alan Holdsworthy weird fucking scale thing to the metal world. You know? It's killer, dude. Just killer shit. And those are always the players I have gravitated towards. I know it's boring, dude. Believe me, I know. I spent years in my room. Oh, that's the wrong patch. That's why it sounded like that. I spent hours in my room, bro. Hours and hours with a metronome, dude. Just so later on in life I could go. Or. Hours listening to stuff. And hours just sitting picking out notes, playing over pedal tones, like this program I told you about earlier, Infinite Pads. You know, you pick a note. I randomly clicked on A sharp. Put a little drive on that. See, made a mistake. Found the right note. Now, could I sit here? Gore Cunt is a cool band. Wait. Gore. I don't know if I was thinking of somebody else. I was thinking of Gore Guts, I think. Oh. Okay. What up? Do not do that. Not yet. Hold on. Let me mute this. See what this band sounds like. This drummer is fucking sick. Oh my God. Yeah, my only issue is the pig squeal thing. I like to kind of understand the lyrics a little bit. You know, like Randy Bly is a great example. Jeff from Carcass, great example. I mean, I get it. I fully understand the talent behind the vocal style and everything that you have to do and train in order to be able to do that at that level for 2 hours a fucking night on tour. I totally get that. And it's unbelievable that dudes can do this with their voice. Chicks can do this with their voice. It's absolutely amazing. But, dude, those riffs are so heavy. What are these guys tuned to? Jesus Christ. Oh, this is a one man band? Really? Fuck. Now, does he play or does he program? Dude, I can vibe with any kind of music. Seriously. I can find something about any kind of music I really dig. It's like I say, I listen to everything. Music for me is music. You know? There's something you can learn from every piece of music out there. Whether it's this, whether it's Beethoven, whether it's fucking Sleep Token, Metallica. It doesn't matter. You can learn something from everything. It's the most important lesson you can learn as a musician. If you only listen to the kinds of music you like, you will never create your own individual style. Every new individual style that's been created has been created from combining other styles of music. That's where it all comes from. Rock and roll was the blues. Hard rock was the blues. Turned up even louder. Then you had the 70s rock bands that were blues based, which turned into the guys that were like, oh, fuck the blues guys. We're going to bring jazz into rock. And then mixed jazz and rock and created fusion. And then Al Di Meola was born, and Al Di Meola gave birth to guys like Randy Rhoads and Jimi Hendrix. And then heavy metal was born by a guy named Ritchie Blackmore along with Tony Iommi. It's all from combining other styles of music. Black Sabbath was a fucking blues band before they invented heavy fucking metal. Dude, there's literally video out on YouTube of Black Sabbath playing Elvis songs, and the band's name was Earth. Go look it up. Ozzy's up there. 1 for the money, 2 for the show. No bullshit. Elvis was a huge influence on Ozzy. Did Elvis ever bite the head off a fucking bat? Nope. That's the way I look at music. You can find influences in any style of music. Black Sabbath was one generation really before me. I grew up in the heyday of thrash metal. I was born in 76. So by the time I was 10 years old in 86, you had Master of Puppets, you had P-Cells, you had The New Order by Testament. I had Mob Rules by Black Sabbath. So that's what influenced me to start. But luckily I found Testament, and reading articles by Alex Skolnick turned me onto all this other music. All this jazz fusion music from the 70s and all this cool shit that was just a different sound. And it was just appealing to my ear. And then I heard a bunch of guys in metal bringing it into metal, so I started listening to those bands. And when Marty joined Megadeth, I was like, holy shit. Then I went back through that catalog. Into Cacophony and blah, 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 and all that shit. Then I went back through the Sabbath catalog, because, again, I came up in the Ronnie James Dio era, and it wasn't really the doomy stuff that they were doing before. It was more like Judas Priesty kind of shit, But I went back through the Sabbath catalog, and when I got to Paranoid, I was just like, oh my God. And then I found bands like Trouble and fucking, who else then was doing that? Double Cross, and then I got into the doom metal thing for a while. So when you're playing Children of the Grave, are you playing it alternate picked, or are you playing it all down picked? Or was it? Have you tried it with all down picking? Because alternate picking that, the chord, I think, is on every other pick stroke. Oh, no, it's always on the upstroke. I can tell you, Tony does it all down picked. He goes. That's how Tony plays it. I don't remember how Randy played it. I learned it off the Randy Rhoads tribute version. Every version of every old Sabbath song I know is from the Randy Rhoads tribute version. Every single fucking one. Other than Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, every time I hear that song, I hear the Anthrax version in my head. Because they just did a killer fucking version of that song. Oh, it was so good. Get rid of that chorus. Never even heard of that band. Hold on. Let me check them out. Killer Sick. The last new thrash metal band I was listening to was Evil. And that was 10 years ago, I think they came out. Hold on. I got to mute it again. What's with every song starting with noise? How's that? I would play it like this. Great riff. Added to my playlist. Thank you for that. That sounds like awesome shit. Where are these ass from? Hungary. Holy shit. That's cool. There's another one I've been listening to from Spain. What the fuck is their name? Let me see if they have a... What I looked up said Hungary. But yeah, what the fuck is the name of this fucking band? The name starts with an A. I can't think of it. Oh, I think I remember. Yes. Angelus Apartrida. Of course. Twitch doesn't let me send it. Oh, no, that's Discord. That's fine. But yeah, this is a YouTube music page. These guys are sick. I'd play it, but fucking Facebook will disconnect me. Another definitely cool band to check out. I didn't realize the time. I have somebody on their way over to the studio, so I got to cut out. I had somebody going to be here at 4, and I got some shit I got to set up. So, I'll be back on tomorrow, I'm sure. Maybe not. It's the weekend. I might not be back till Monday. But I'm going to start doing this on a regular schedule. So starting here in like a week or so. I'm going to start doing this on the regular schedule. I also have a podcast coming with my friend Miles, who's also a record producer and guitar player. Plays in an amazing, like, they're a metal band. They kind of like, they got that Swedish Gothenburg thing, but they're from here in the States. Really cool band called Minus. Hold on. Minus. If you're into like In Flames and shit like that, check these guys out. Cool band named Minus. 3 Inches of Blood is good shit. Good shit. Anyway, I got to go get the studio set up. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. If you have any more questions, anything, leave them in the comments. I'll get to them. I will talk to you guys either tomorrow or Monday. I'm not sure yet. I'll let you guys know either way. Thanks.